Yeah, it's okay now. It's visible.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let's start discussing.
Okay.
So the today's topic is about NAT.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, Kishore. Kishore, it's all good?
Yes, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay, fine. Welcome. Okay, so today's topic is about NAT. NAT stands for network. It stands for network address translation. Network address translations. Okay. It is used to. It is used to uh, translate. It is used to translate from one network to another, from one network to another, like like public to sorry another, like private public, private to private, then public to private, and public to public as well. Okay, actually, NAT is a concept which is actually the need of NAT is to doing the translations of one IP to another. We should also know in IPv4 it has a limited number of IP addresses. Okay, and now all the IP addresses from IPv4 is near about to finish. Okay, so to manage and do proper utilization of IP addresses in a network to converge the network. In that case, we have to implementing a concept named as NAT. Okay, like we already discussed all the things like all the IP addresses is divided into two parts. One is the public, and second is the private network type. Okay, private IP address type. Private IP addresses are totally free, and the public IP addresses are paid. If you want to use some private IP address, then you should have to pay for it. Okay, if you want to use it. So at that case, if you share, guys, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so now you can see. So what is the basic difference that why public should pay and private should free? Because public has a features named as routing. Okay, like if you choose a public network, then that particular IP address is able to providing, guys, 1 minute. I get a call. Hello. Hello, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
done. Okay. So the routing feature is the main thing that in on, sorry on public IP addresses, these routing features are enabled by which we can freely, if we have the public IP, then we have freely able to do communicating with the internet. Okay, but whenever you choose the private network, it is all free. Okay, it is all freely available to ourselves to use it. Okay, so this routing features is overly disabled on this private IP addresses, by which, like you can see, if you want to do communicate with the internet, then if you have the private IP address, then that particular IP address is not able to do the things. So to get the internet accessibility, then we have definitely access. So we definitely use the public network. Okay. So basically, we have converted our network like this. Like we built our LAN network in by using the private IP addresses, and in the case of internet accessibility, if we need any internet accessibility through this network, then we choose the public IP address, and this IP on the basis of that IP address, all the devices can able to communicate with the internet. Okay, so that in this case, we need the NAT process or the translation process, by which the private network is all translated to a public IP, and now the private network is also be able to do communicate with the internet, and all the LAN net, sorry, all the users in LAN network should able to get the internet accessibility. Okay, so it is a real field scenario. So let do the practicals, and before doing the practical, let's discuss how many types of NAT we discussed here. Okay, what are the specifications about the NAT configuration process to do the NAT configuration process. So let's start. Okay, so in today's topic we have to learn is of two types. Okay, it is of three types. These are static, second one is the dynamic, and the last one is the PAT, or you can also say it NAT overload. Okay. So here is the three types of NAT process that we are using to translate our network, our private network into a public network, or vice versa. Okay. So in static, if you configure the static, then we discuss about the static process. Like static is a very older process. Okay, like if in a sorry in a LAN network, okay, in a LAN network, if you have 50 users, like this is a LAN network, and in this LAN network you have 500 users. Okay, and if you want all the users to be able to get the internet connectivity, then if you get the access, sorry, if you get the internet accessibility in your network, then to do communicating about, sorry, to do communication with this 500 sorry 500 users to the internet, then you need 500 IPs, sorry, 500 private IPs as well. Okay, like the LAN users, like sorry, the requirement of private IP, sorry, requirement of public IP, public public IPs are exactly the same as much as you have in your private network. Okay, and the translation that you done here, it is remain constant. Like that translation process is bidirectional. Like if you want to do share information from private to public, sorry, private to public, then all the private network can translate onto a public network, and if you want to do translation from public to private, then you can able to do it. Like both sided communication is possible, like whenever you generate the traffic from private to public, or whenever you want to generate the traffic from public to private, in both the case on static you can able to do the translation process. Okay, so actually it is the very older process, so let do configurations about it. Okay, but day-to-day life we don't use the static process. It is rarely to use the static process. If we have the older devices or older topologies in our company, then in that case, very rarely we implement the static, because uh, in day-to-day life IPv4 is very less. Okay, I was very less available in our day-to-day life. So if we have large number of users in our LAN network, then we also need, if we want to implementing the static NAT, then we definitely need as much that comparison, as much that public IP address just equivalent to our private network to get, to provide internet connectivity through our LAN users. It is a very huge amount of IP address. To doing these things, we have to need a huge amount of public IP addresses. Okay, it is it is a very cost effective process, and second thing is about in day-to-day life we don't have that much of public IP addresses as well. Okay, so in real field scenario we don't use a static process, but let do the practical. Okay, according to your syllabus we have to know how to configure the static net process. So let's start the practical. Okay. Okay, so to doing these things I just create a scenario like, so to do the configurations, I use the same network that we already doing the configurations in our previous protocols. So here I choose the serial port, the serial cable. Okay. So to configure this LAN network, I simply use a dynamic protocol named as RIP. Okay. So let's start the configuration process. Okay, so now I successfully do the configurations on my LAN network. So now it's time to enable the dynamic protocol to do reachability between the devices. Okay, to do the things, I simply use the RIP protocol like the router RIP network. Okay, so now you can see from PC0 to PC1, like in my LAN network, all the devices can able to do communication with each other. Okay, so now if you want to get the internet connectivity, then you have to choose any private network. Okay, so for private network, I have to do configuration a private network, sorry, a public network. For public IP, I choose 172.15.0.0. Okay, so get the configuration interface serial 0 by 0 by 0, and then time to configure the IP address as 172.15.0.1, 0.0. Okay. So to do the configuration, sorry, to share the information, the ISP, then I have to choose the default route command where all the network and the subnet is remain constant as 0. Okay, so you have to choose the external path which is serial 000. Enter. So to enter this, sorry, share this default information throughout this RIP protocol, then you have to merge that default statement in between a dynamic process. To do these things, you have to choose command router if, then you have to write command default information originate. Okay, so now all the routers in my LAN network able to get this default information. It's routing table by which devices can able to do communication with the internet properly. Okay, so to further do the remaining configurations. Okay, now enable terminal. Configure terminal interface serial 0 by 0 by 1. IP address 172.15.0.2. Go shut down. Exit interface fast. 0 IP address. Okay. So now you can see. So to do the configuration, like if you can see, if I started triggering from 3.0 to PC2, now you can see uh, it shows that the reply is coming from, okay, I don't configure the default route from here as well. From my ISP to my LAN network, that's to simply drop the packets. 0 by 0 by 1. Okay. Now it's can able to ping. Okay. Now it can able to get the access. Okay. Now you can see it's pinging properly. you can see if I ping my own LAN network, okay, like 192.168.1.2, then the exact PC, is replying me. Okay, so actually this is the virtualization by which we do all the practicals as per our testing, or as per our, sorry, as per our skill enhancing type. So that's why all the things should do able to communicate with each other. So actually in real field, the private network is not able to do communication directly in between our LAN network. So to do these things, you have to choose the NAT process. So how we configure the NAT process? So the first process is that, and to do the things, you can able to implement this LAN network. Sorry, to taking the LAN pro sorry to do implementing the NAT process, you should choose this middle router, by which the router has both informations of private network and the public network as well. So to do the things, you choose the router and write the command ipnat inside. Inside means inside means the local area network. Okay, ipnat inside source uh, static. Okay, like we have to do the static net process where the source information is in my inside network about my LAN network. Okay, where, okay, so you have to choose inside local IP address. Okay, so for local IP address, I simply choose like 0.0.0.0. Okay, and for inside global address, like which IP address I choose, that we have to translate. We have to do the translation process. Okay, so to do translation, I have to choose the specific range from like one IP to one IP. That's why I choose 172.15.0.3. Okay, so now it's time to implement this configuration over my port. So like you can see, if the packet is coming from inside, like coming from this system, so over this router, faster than 0 by 0, the private network information is getting in, and this side is the public network. So this is my inside interface and this is my outside interface. For inside interface, we implementing this NAT process by which whenever the packet is uh, coming to, so whenever this particular packet is hit this particular interface, then it simply follow the NAT process to do the translation process. Okay, sorry, to do the translation. Okay, so for faster than by 0 interface faster than 0 by 0, I simply implement the NAT configuration like ipnat inside. Okay, I simply tell that the fastener 0 by 0 is in my private network side, and the interface serial 0 by 0 by 0 in my outside network for my public network. Now you can see PC0 is able to ping to the PC2, and also my also be able to ping on internet as well. Okay, at that time, if I try to ping from PC3 to 2, then it simply reply me. It simply reply me. But whenever do ping from this system, okay, it is not taking the configurations. 1 minute, buddy. Like I have to choose IP. Okay, so to choose the IP, like the IP is the source IP. Okay, 192.168.168.1.0, 0.0.0.2.5, then 172.15.0.3. No, it doesn't take that configuration. So, okay, it is a static process, sorry. I little forgot that. So we have to do the translation from one to one IP. Okay. So for one to one, I simply use 1.2, and the IP is 172.15.0.3. Okay. Now you can see it can be do the translation. Yeah. Now you can see who's replying. I simply ping from the PC 192.168.1.2, but replying is coming back to the IP 172.15.0.3, which is my public IP. Okay, so this is the configuration named as static. Okay, a static NAT or the static network address translation process. Okay, so the so the major thing is that we need one IP. If I have 500 LAN IPs like private IP, then we definitely need 500 of public IP address to do the translation process. Okay, not possible. And the second thing is that the security issues. The translation is done bidirectionally. Like if you generate the packets from PC0 to PC2, then it will do the translation process. If you generate the packets from PC2 to PC0, then it also do the translation process. So it is the very major point of security law. Sorry, it is the very major point of security by which whenever anyone in try to do some illegal things in my network, then it can definitely be able to get access of my network through this NAT process. So due to this security issues, we don't use the static process, and as well the IP requirement is extremely high. That's why we don't use the static process in day-to-day life. Okay. So the second process is about the dynamic. In dynamic, guys, 1 minute. I'm getting a call. I'm getting a call. Hello, guys. Am I audible? Hello.
Audible, sir.
Yeah, Ritika.
हाँ जी.
Actually, I want to talk with you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Guys, just give me 2 minutes. I need to talk with Ritika. Okay.
Okay.
Ritika ji. Yeah,
Okay, sir.
definitely. Okay. Ritika ji,
हाँ जी.
आपका ये बैच मैं कैंसिल कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है. पंकज सर से बात कर लेना. मैं आपको
ठीक है,
दूसरे
ठीक
बैच
है.
में डालूंगा. ठीक है.
ओके, ठीक है. थैंक यू.
और ओके रितिका जी, मैं क्या बोल रहा था, मेरा नंबर है आपके पास?
नहीं.
गौरव सर से ले पाओगे?
किससे लेना है? गौरव से?
गौरव सर है ना?
गौरव कौन है?
गौरव है सौरभ.
अच्छा, सौरभ. हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक है.
ठीक है, उनसे बोल देना वो पार्थो से बात करके मेरा नंबर आपको दे दे. ठीक है, आप मुझे एक बार व्हाट्सएप पिंग कर देना. ठीक है.
ठीक है. ओके.
तो मैं
ठीक
आपका
है.
सेशन दूसरे बैच में शिफ्ट कर लूंगा. अभी जो नया बैच स्टार्ट होगा उसमें डाल दूंगा. ठीक है.
ओके, ठीक है. थैंक यू.
Okay, okay, fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay, okay, guys, let's start the discussion. Okay. So this is the example of our static process. Okay. So what about the dynamic process? Actually, in static we face in static net process we face some troubles like this. Okay. So to mitigate these things, we discover the dynamic net process by which we simply choose some range of IP addresses in public IP, okay, by which all the LAN users should follow that this public IP addresses range to do the translation process, okay. So what is the process? Let's do the practical, okay. So before doing the practical, can I simply erase the starting net configuration to discontinue the specific policy that we implemented in LAN network, sorry, in NAN condition. Then to do the things, you simply write the no command with the host statement. Okay, so it simply erase the configuration. Okay, now it's time to do the dynamic configuration. To do the dynamic configuration, so you have to choose the command like IPNAT, then pool. Pool means the specific IP address range. Like if you choose to do the dynamic process, then you definitely get some range of IP addresses, like 2 to 3 IP addresses. Sorry, 2 to 3 IP addresses specifically. Okay, so that specific range is named as pool here. Okay, so the process is IPNAT pool, and you have to define a name to the particular pool to identify what is my pool is. Okay, because over a router, if you take the access, if you take the multiple ISPs connection, then to identify which network policy is implemented for which ISP. So to do these things, we have to configure an individual name to identify the particular pool configured to a dedicated ISP. So to do these things, you have to choose a name here. So for things, I have to choose CCNA. Okay. So now it's time to enter the specific IP address range here. So I choose the IP address like 172.15.0.32, 172.0.5 with its subnet mask. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, start IP is 172.15.0.3 and the range is from 172. Okay, I simply forgot to write the command like this. 5. Okay. Then with the default subnet mask, the subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. Enter. Okay. So now you also bind that particular policies with an access control list to do the filtration process. Okay. Or in this scenario, we simply use some security concept like in static, bidirectional communication is possible. Like whenever you generate the packet from source to destination, like in private to public, then it will do the translation in static case. And somehow, if you do generate the packet from outside to inside, then it also generate the packets. Okay, so at that case, in dynamic, we simply do the by unidirectional communication only. Okay, whenever you want to generate the packet from inside to outside network, like your private to the public network, that's why it simply check the policy and simply allow the traffic to do communication with the uh, private IP. Okay, like taking an example, if you use, if you do the communication by using the TCP protocol, then only the SYN packet allowed from private network to public network. Whenever the SYN packet is coming outside to inside, then it simply check the policy and simply drop the packet. So somehow it simply reduce the security issues and maintain all the tasks properly. Okay. So to check the configuration, to implement the security, you have to choose the ACL or the access control list. So here I choose the access control list of standard, like the type is standard. Okay. So to do the configuration, I simply use like IP, sorry, access list 10 pool, sorry, format. Okay. So to do permission, I simply use that like IPNet pool. Full name is this. Okay. Then I call IPNet inside pool, IPNet inside source pool. Okay, I have to choose the list command. Okay, so IPNet inside source list, the list number is 10. The like I simply bind this NAT configuration to a filtration process. Okay, by implementing the ACL policy. Okay, the policy group is 10. Like sorry, like I use the standard Excel, sorry, the standard type ACL to do the filtration process. Okay, so the IPNet inside source list 10 with the pool name is CCNA. Okay, so now implementing the process like access list 10 omit NA. NA means it simply allow all the inside traffic to the outside. To implementing the configuration, do interface faster than 0 by 0, IP NAT inside. And now it's time to do the configuration from other interface as well, like IP NAT outside. Okay, so now you can see from PC0, if you do the configuration, it simply ping properly. But whenever you do the configuration from here to there, the reply packet is from 172.0.4. Like it simply choose a random IP address in between the specific pool. So to check it, so simply go to its simulation mode. Okay, now it's time to check the concept, whether the IP is translated or not. Okay, so now you can see the source IP is 192.168.1.2 and while the destination IP is 192.168.3.2. Okay, whenever is this particular packet is reached to this middle router, then this middle router change its source IP address to a 172.15.0.4 IP. Okay, like the source IP is 192.168.1.2 in my LAN network, but when that particular packet is ready to outsourcing or to do communication in public network, then at that time it simply changes source IP address as to 172.15.0.4, which is my public IP address. Okay, the destination address is remains same. Now you can see packet is able to do ping from its destination and it also reply back to. And when it reply back, it simply do the on translation process to understand which IP address is able to, so which IP address simply generated that particular pass or particular packet. And simply after on translating it, it simply on translate 172.15.0.4 into, like you can see, it simply do on translate of the IP address 172.15.0.4 into 192.168.1.2. Okay, so after doing these things, it simply forward the packet to its target system. Now the ping process is completed. This is the real-time scenario of private and public network communication. Okay, and you can see it is also has a drawback because and what is it? It is like in pool, if you define the range like I choose 3 IP addresses consecutively. These IP addresses are 172.15.0.32, 172.15.0.5. Like I simply choose these consecutive 3 values. Okay, which is 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so if I have LAN IP addresses more than more than uh, 3 systems, like if I have uh, 500 users in my LAN network, so in a particular time, not all of them should able to do communication to the internet. At the same time, only the 3 systems are able to do the communication with the internet and remains are outed. Whenever one finish their communication, it simply release this particular IP, and now the time from one of the systems in between this type of range is able to do communication to its internet. Okay, so here the translation process is not permanent, it is dynamic, like it is not constant. Okay, it may be changed. Okay, it simply carry that particular IP address whenever it will. Also, whenever it is continuing the communication with the internet, after finishing the communication, it simply release the particular IP address by which it simply do the translation. Okay, and that particular IP address, that a particular public IP address is now free. Whenever another system is do communication by using this particular IP address, then it can able to do the communication to the internet. But here you can see, whenever these 500 systems are want to do communication simultaneously, then in this case dynamic process is not working. Okay, so here we choose the another process named as PAT. PAT means the port aggregation translation. Actually, in static and dynamic NAT, we simply do the translation on the basis of IP address only. Okay, but in third case, like the PAT, in the case of PAT means port aggregation translation. Port aggregation translation. Aggregation translations. Like we do the translations on the basis of network, like IP address as well as services. Sorry, we simply do the translation on the basis of IP addresses and services as well. Okay, not only the single information basis, like only not only the IP address only. We have to choose the translation process on the basis of service as well. Okay, so this is assuming that if the 500 systems in a LAN use, sorry, in a company wants to do communications, and all the prospectives or like all the devices should choose the different services to do, sorry, to do access to the internet, then over a single IP address it should able to do the translation process. Actually, in that in static or dynamic, it simply do the translation on the basis of IP address. That's why we choose different IP address to do communication for different systems. But in PAT process, it simply differentiate individual pieces by choosing the different port number. That's why we can use a single IP to translate multiple pieces overnight. Okay, so how to do this? So let's start doing this configuration. So to do this configuration, I simply erase all the configurations. Okay. I just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Now you can see, if you want to check the if you want to check the NAT configuration, then you have to choose the command show IP NAT translations. Now you can see there is no NAT configured over this router. So to do the PAT process or otherwise that specific purpose is known as, sorry, that specific type of NAT is known as the NAT overload. Okay. So now it's time to configure, to do configurations. Like if I choose okay, like do the configuration like IP NAT pool, and the pool name is CCNA, then you have to choose the range exactly like the dynamic process 172.15.0.5, where the net mask is 255.255.0.0. Apart from it, okay, then choose IP NAT inside source. List number is 10. The pool name is CCNA. Now it's time to write the command overload. Okay, so to write the command overload, now it is do the translation on the basis of port, okay, not on the basis of IP address. Whenever both the services is matched sorry, matched on a single IP address, then at that time it simply changes the IP address. Otherwise, over a single IP, we can do translation. So we can do translate a number of IP addresses, a number of PCs at a time. Okay. So now to allow the inside traffic to outside communication, then you have to choose the command accessories train omit any. Okay. Now time to implement 0 by 0 IPNAT inside exit interface serial 0 by 0 by 0 IPNAT outside. Okay. So this is the configuration. Okay. Like if you want to check, I simply disconnect. I simply disconnect the specific system. Now you can see here I choose multiple systems. Okay. Okay. Now you can see I simply ping from PC0 to PC2. Like okay. Same time you can see if I enable okay. Now you can see PC3 is also able to do ping 192.168.3.2. Okay. Over this particular PC, sorry, over this router, then you can see enable config terminal. Sorry, write the command show IPNAT translations. Okay, NAT is configured over this middle router. Show IPNAT translations. Here you can see it is using 0.4, and for another system it is definitely use some other IP named as 0.3. Okay, stop pinging. Yeah, stop pinging. That's why it's so okay. So here I simply use the configuration. I simply change slightly in the configuration. Like I simply activate the remote access management named as telnet over this particular PC. Okay. So to do these things, I simply use the command like line between 0 and 4. Like line BTY means it is the virtual teletype port, virtual teletype for BTY. Okay, like here is the logical ports which are available on the router. Okay, uh, uh, if you want to activate the remote access management, then there are all possible 5 ports are there to do the remote access of a device and do the management process to over on a router. Okay, so to do the things, you have to write the command line between 0 and 4 and write the command password for a security and write the command login exit. Now you have to write the command enable password, and password is 123 as well. Now the command exit. Okay, now the remote access service is also enabled over this router. Now simply do the translation process again. Okay, and also on this system as well. and also this system as well. So now you can see all the three IP addresses are now busy to do communication, okay, by using the three IP addresses. One is, now you can see all the IP addresses like 4 and also for 3 and 5. It is only shows the 4. I don't know why. Okay, over this 4 you can see the IP address is 102, 104, 102, 104. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Yeah, it's pinging. Yeah, it's pinging as well. It's pinging as well. Okay, so the three IP addresses are busy to do its task, to do the translation process. But if you want to do the whatever, if you want to do communication for this PC5, so in the case of dynamic, it is not possible. But in this PAT process, the port number or the services that I choose to do communication through the internet is different from other systems, which is I like to do ping process. To doing the ping process, here we choose the specific protocol named as ICMP. For doing the remote access management like Telnet, we use the TCP protocol. That's why it simply translate different IPs, sorry, different protocol services over a single IP address. Okay. Now the IP address is 192.168. Okay, sorry, the IP address is 172.15.0.2. Password is 123. Enable 123. Now you can see I can able to do access of this router which is situated on which is situated in my public network. Okay, so if I want to change its host name is ISP then yes, I can do it. Like you can see over this router, the host name is successfully changed. Okay, so this is the all configuration of your NAT process. Okay, so this is all about NAT, and here all the routing concepts and its security and the NAT process as well are finished. So guys, is there any doubts? Hello, hello, guys, is there any doubts?
No, no, let's continue, sir.
Adam, it's all clear. Adamu,
Yes, sir.
is it all clear?
Yeah. We will try to do some practical.
If you try to do some practicals.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think that I suggest you some practical and you just do it?
Okay.
Okay. So I just give you some tasks. Okay. So let's do some hands-on practical on it. Okay. If you successfully did it, then all the configurations are uh, properly done. If you do face a problem, then you simply do your remote access of your system. Then I simply do the configuration and see how you should able to do the configuration properly on your device. Okay. So now the time is to do the practical. Okay. So exactly you create the scenario like this. Okay. According to this IP address. Okay. That I already choose to uh, do the IP addresses to do the IP addressing process on it. Okay. And now you have to follow the dynamic process. Sorry, the practically is that you have to choose the pad process. Okay, to do the translation. Okay. So how much time do you need? Sorry, how much time do you need, guys? I'll give you 20 minutes at the time of 4:30. I'll ping you and see
Okay.
what happened. Okay, okay. I simply give you 15 to 20 minutes time to finish this practical. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hello, Manuel. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Emmanuel. Do you have some problem that you written over here? Like, sir, please, I will not be able
Uh,
to
no,
speak.
sir.
Yeah, my machine is having a small problem.
I had a,
Okay. Okay. Emmanuel, fine. Okay, fine. I'm get you. Okay, so uh, let's do the further topics or to stop here. Like you are the only student left in the session. So if you want to do continue with me, then we should continue the batch. Otherwise, we have to stop the batch. Or
uh,
I personally suggested you to continue the batch. What do you think?
like, I think it is going to be better if you could continue tomorrow because I am at the hospital now.
Okay. Okay,
Because
Emmanuel. So
yeah, I
fine,
went to the
fine. I
hospital
can.
for the eyes and I was attending the classes on the phone.
Okay. So okay,
Okay.
not an
Thank you,
issue.
sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yes, sir.